Get ready to make this carrot and ginger soup. And you say, well, then why are you slicing a potato up? It doesn't say potato carrot ginger soup. Actually, the potato is really gonna be nice. It's gonna make it kind of creamy. It'll work as a little bit of a thickener and makes it kind of silky. Okay, so break the potato down so it can cook evenly. And then, like I said earlier, we're just gonna be hitting this with an immersion blender, so it doesn't matter exactly what size. A couple pounds of carrots here, going into some oil where I already have caramelized onions into my Dutch oven. These are gonna caramelize, really bring out some of the sweetness. That's where that big carrot flavor is gonna come in. I love carrot soup. Actually, I think out of all veggies, carrots are probably my favorite. Okay, so we get the carrots down. Now we're going with the potatoes. Look at this, it's already starting to fill up. And then we'll hit a little chicken stock in here later, let it all really cook down, and then that's when we blend it up. Let me get a little garlic in. The garlic, again, can be just kind of a rough chop, but it gotta have some garlic flavor in there. And some ginger will be the next piece. There we go. Let's talk about this carrot and ginger soup. This bad boy's got it all in there. This really caramelized up nice. Now I'll go in and hit it with some chicken stock. Okay, we'll let this cook up. Now let's get into the yogurt and the honey. That'll be my little topping that goes on top of this carrot ginger soup. About a cup and a third of some yogurt. There we go, and about a tablespoon of honey. We'll let this hang out for a second. Nice. It's gonna be nice and creamy, a little bit of the acidity of the yogurt going on the top of this, because we're gonna have some sweetness of the caramelized onions and the carrots. Really nice and refreshing, kind of tangy. Okay. There we go. Take a look at that carrot ginger soup. I'm telling you, I should have made double this amount because I can eat all of this myself. Put a little bit more chicken stock. It was just a little thick. Lowered the heat down. There's enough residual heat in that Dutch oven. This is on point. Let me just give it a little check, you know, because I need to. Always should check this before it goes out to the gas. Great. Pureeing it, making sure that those salt levels are right, the seasoning levels are right, and it is right on point. There's the soup. Bring it over, hit some of this yogurt with the honey, some pine nuts, throw one of the crackers in. That is one dynamite meal. A monster bowl, a bounty of lemon juice, some salt. Don't have to go too heavy on the salt, granted it all came out of the sea. Black pepper, let's get in with a little garlic, and I'm just gonna rough chop that garlic. This will break down. It'll share its flavor. Little white wine. And another one of my favorites when it comes to seafood is some capers. They couldn't make the jar any smaller. And they start falling all over the place. Okay? Just like I do with the garlic. Just give it a little pop just to kind of open it up a bit. And last but not least, you think of the spice. Man, I've been to some Cioppino feeds. Woo! I mean, it is all spice. So we'll just add a little bit of chili flake to this. And then to coat it all, to help all this great flavor stick to this seafood, a little bit of olive oil. Okay, let me give this a quick whisk. Now, I'll turn this a few times as I let it marinate. But what we're gonna do right now, we'll drop that nice big piece of halibut in there. That's what we're talking about. Then we'll get those scallops in. Beautiful. We'll throw in, I'm gonna pop that crab in half just like that. Excellent. The other one, look at this, and this is so fresh. Here we go. Down inside, and then we'll throw prawns that will take it real quick. So grab this and a little foil, and we'll go back, because what do you want? You want your seafood nice and cold. So we'll throw a little cover on top of that. All right, grab a tray, because I'm gonna put a little marinade on these as we work. So the first thing I'm gonna start off with is a bunch of Roma tomatoes. Last of the Romas. Tomato sauce and Cioppino, hand in hand. Next up, red bell pepper. red bell pepper, and big onion. One more, the fennel. The key here is to keep these fronds. We'll hold those to the side. Okay, fennel, there's that. Now check this out. Hit a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, touch of some black pepper. Believe it or not, we're gonna hit it with a little fennel. Fennel's a strong flavor in this cioppino. Okay, with a little fennel seeds. And we'll hit it with a little red chili flake. Again, spice is a key piece as well. Start to throw the fennel on. Throw the peppers. Just keep an eye on it. And you know, here's the cool thing about this. This is one of those things that you can grill. You don't have to worry about how ugly it looks because this is all gonna get pureed up. So if it has a little extra char to it, fantastic. That's a little extra flavor. Look at that. Kind of slide them on. Oh, tell me it doesn't look great already. And to think this is all going to come together for a seafood dish. I'm going to make this fantastic cioppino. I've got a bunch of seafood that's in the fridge right now. And this right here, well, this is the cioppino sauce. You don't typically see it as a fire roasted cioppino sauce, but I'll tell you something, we're going to highlight that seafood incredibly with this. A little bit of chicken stock. Drop this on. Now I took the seeds and the stems out of the bell pepper, but otherwise, everybody's in there. Look at all that char and all those bits. All right, that's my kind of cioppino sauce. Fire roasted, right on. There we go. And if it gets too thick, I got a little chicken stock to thin it out. All right, awesome. Roasted garlic's down. Now, this is where this kind of gets into some decision-making process. What do I want to add first? Well, I've got the hard shell of the crab, and it's pretty industrial. I mean, it can handle the heavy heat. So I'm going to throw that on first. The shrimp, they're protected also with their shell, these prawns, so I'm going to go ahead and throw those on. Look at that. Okay. And here we go. I'm going to put the fish on. It'll probably go on last and come off first. Nestle that right in on top of there. And then I'm just gonna hold those scallops for a little bit. I'll put those on at the last minute. So I'm just trying to finish up this fantastic cioppino sauce. Add a little ouzo there because if you've had a good cioppino, you know it's got some spice, it's got some garlic, and it's got a nice little anise flavor. Okay, and we'll take this. I'm gonna pour it right onto my platter here. Now, some beautiful halibut. This all marinated, by the way. Leave that right there. Take these beautiful scallops, lay those around the side. And I just want these super, super tender because they're gonna sit inside that hot sauce. I mean, look at that. Tell me that is not gorgeous. Look at that. Get a little bit of the sauce. Just drop a little bit on top of this. I mean, it's gorgeous. A little more, the basil, some of the fennel fronds that I had. Okay, first I gotta dig into some polenta. A little bit of this halibut. And then, when you wanna get your crab, I'm a body meat guy. So you dip it right in there. This Dungeness crab. Of all the crab that I have, I mean from king crab, snow crab, you can tell I don't like it. This is the one to go to. Now the sausage, andouille sausage, smoked sausage, two Louisiana staples, and look at how I've cooked them down. Rendered them down great. This is the way we treat the hot links at Johnny Garlic's when we make the chipotle penne sausage dish. But you cook that down and they kind of got a nice little crust to them. You're leaving that residual fat in there. Oh, that is exactly what I'm talking about. You're gonna use some fat to cook with anyways. You see me do it with jambalaya. If you're gonna use that fat anyways, why not render it out of the sausage? All that big flavor. Okay, so we'll let those sit there and cool down for a second. I'm gonna grab a little bit of bacon fat. We'll get a little bit of bacon fat into this. and start working some of these veggies. I don't need much. It's kind of like how much fat did you get out of your sausage? If you need more, hit it with some bacon fat. Don't want to go overboard with it, so if you need to fortify it from there, a little peanut oil or a little canola oil, but that should work. And there's my bench knife. Okay, let me grab these Anaheims in first. That's the sound I want. We get the celery, some peppers, red bell peppers, some green, some onions. So what I'm gonna do is get these in, and I'm gonna actually add my flour right into this and let this roux develop as I cook down these veggies, okay? Get a little AP in here. That's about a 1/4 cup. Stir it in. Let it start to adhere to the veggies. Let it soak up some of that fat. Now down with a little bit of garlic. Didn't want to put that garlic in too soon. It takes some while for that roux to kind of get peanut butter color. That's what we call it, which is darkening up a little bit. We'll let that garlic start to cook in, and I got to grab a couple spices for this. What do you think I'm going to grab? Exactly, cayenne. A little cayenne pepper, a little white pepper. Not going to go too overboard with this. About 2 teaspoons. Got to follow my own rule. Put it in my hand first. Comes just out in a big glob, and then the kids won't be able to eat it. I'm not going to overspice it. They can add a little hot sauce if they want to it. A little white pepper. Garlic's starting to open up right now. There we go. And, all right. So that gets served. Tell you what, now what I got going right here, a little smoked chicken stock. So I got this chicken that I brined, and then I dropped it in there with some about 16 cups of water and some mirepoix, some veggies, and this is really coming together nice. Carrots and celery and onions, and look at that chicken. I'll let that cook a little bit longer, and then I'll take it out, let it cool down, shred it, and pop it back in here. Talk about popping it back in here. Let me get in the andouille and the smoked sausage. Chop those so they're a little more bite size. Okay? I always talk about my buddy Santos. This is one of his methods. How about if I just dunk it down in there and just grab that stock right there, and this can continue to cook that chicken. So I'll get in about 1 cup, 3/4 of a cup. Stir it around. So I want to make sure that that roux grabs that chicken stock nicely. You can smell that liquid smoke right off the bat. See that beautiful color that's going on with that? Look at that right there. We drop some chicken right in there, let those flavors come together. Oh, this is awesome. I've got mine not super thick, but this chicken's actually gonna thicken up a little bit. Now we get into some of this beautiful gumbo. Look at that. Nice peanut colored roux that we made with the flour. Cooking it down, didn't go too fast, didn't make any dumplings. Look at that. Andouille smoked sausage, the peppers, the garlic. The garlic went in right at the end. Little cayenne, nice consistency, not too thick. I don't want it to stand the spoon up in it. Parsley, me. Okay, we'll just reduce the heat a little bit. Dutch oven was waiting for me to hurry up. And let them kind of go low and slow. I really want to pull some of the flavor out of this and let these caramelize. Let's take a look at that squash. That's what I'm talking about. Look at those bad boys all roasted up. The garlic in there, even a little bit of moisture inside of it, that's all flavor. My shallots look really nice in here. Now it's time to deglaze the bottom of this pan. We'll grab a little chicken stock for that. So that's what we've got. We're letting the acorn squash kind of cool down before we scoop it out, get it into here. I'm gonna deglaze with the chicken stock. This will be the base of the soup. Outrageous. I think it'd just be great like this, but we're making this dynamite soup, and I got some shallots and chicken stock doing time over here, simmering nicely. And inside of the squash, in the cavities, I put some shallots, so that roasted with them. Those are gonna go right into the soup. Actually, everybody's gonna go into the soup. Let me see, I've got the shallots, some roasted garlic, that'll be really nice. And then the squash meat itself goes right in. That'll make it nice and creamy. Just a touch of cayenne. Not too much, about 1/4 teaspoon. And about the same on the white pepper. A little dried sage, we all know what that's like, the rub sage. Okay? and then some savory, which you don't hear a lot of times. And this has kind of got like a little lemony, almost dried arugula idea, but a little bit more citrusy. Okay, some Worcestershire sauce, a tablespoon of that in. Okay, so let me just give this a quick little buzz. These immersion blenders, I love them because we don't have to take all the soup out and hit it into the blender right now and then pour it back in because I want to continue cooking. So I just sit here and do this, kind of get all the big pieces ground up, let it continue to simmer. Over to this acorn squash soup. A little olive oil goes in, some grated Parmesan cheese, just a touch. Adds a little bit of salt to that, but this was seasoned really nice. So we'll stir that around. Okay, now look at these crostinis I got sitting over here. Chopped up some pistachios, hit a little Parmesan cheese, buttered up that baguette, popped it in the oven, and look at that. This is not your everyday soup, but tell me that's not gonna be nice and hearty on a cold winter day, especially during the holidays. I'll just put a little, you see here, I'll use my spoon so it doesn't just kind of clump right in the middle. There we go. I like that one. Float that bad boy right on top of there. And now let me get a taste of that. The roasted acorn, the garlic was roasted with it, the shallots, the chicken stock, the savory. So we get some nice washed russets into cast iron and into the wood-fired oven. Remember, you don't have a wood-fired oven. We're looking for this oven to be running right around 350 degrees, and it should take us about 45 minutes to an hour for those to just come to the point. We don't want them all the way cooked. It's not a baked potato. It's not gonna be mashed, because we do want some chunk to it, and it'll also continue to cook inside of the pot. Speaking of the pot, throw a little heat on this. Get this out of the way. Now, what's the basis of a great soup? Of course, I believe a little bacon. Look at that. Thick cut bacon. We'll take it. We're going to use it for two things. One, we want the bacon in the soup. And this is a soup that we serve at my restaurant in New York City, Guy's American Kitchen and Bar. And we're going to render it down and get the fat. And we're going to make this just the basis of the soup. Okay. Excellent. And this we're going to want to manage. Keep stirring it. Keep moving it around. All right. And take a look at my bacon here, my lardons. You can see the way that's cooking up, rendering all that fat. That's gonna make a fantastic soup. Getting the lardons of bacon out. Applewood smoked bacon. Use the kind you like. I just like the thick bacon. Off to the side. Heat's coming up nice. This time I'm actually gonna use a measuring cup, not because it's necessary, just because I hate getting the flour out of my bling. About a half cup of some flour into that bacon fat. Okay. Give this a little stir. We do want to make sure that we cook all that flour flavor out of there, okay? Looks like I've got a good look there. Okay, now in with some warm milk, nice and easy. See how that starts to foam up like that? Just want to get it nice and easy and not let that flour turn into dumplings. There we go. Oh. We're almost at the glory moment here. Taking this roasted potatoes, or these baked potatoes, not all the way baked yet. They're still a little firm, but that's fine because they're gonna cook out in this soup. Keeping the skins from going in, okay? There we go, get the rest of these in. Skins are off, nice and firm. Look at that, awesome. Now already in there, some chicken stock, bacon fat, made a roux with some flour, and just to make sure that this isn't too funky chunky, I'm gonna get a little masher in there. Yes, too funky chunky is a term. And the only thing that I'm dragging here is a little bit of cheese. So, it's good. Get this out of the way. Let me get it out of the fridge. I need cheddar. Two kinds of cheddar. A little turkey and some parm. See that karate kick that I gave that? Yeah. Okay, let's start with this. I think I'm gonna go with the white sharp cheddar into this. About a cup. Give this a stir. Also, salt, cracked black pepper, and yes, the bacon. The bacon shall go. I'm gonna put in about 2/3 of it and reserve the rest to be able to crumble up on top, along with some Parmesan cheese. So we'll stir that in. Nice. All right. Give it a taste. Look at that. It's like a cross between fondue and baked potato at this point. One touch of some salt. Gotta watch that over salting. Hadn't put the bacon in yet. Next on the baked potato soup, I cooked the bacon, saved the bacon fat, the renderings in there, add a little flour to it, hit in some chicken stock, hit in some milk, then come back in with some potato that I cooked down, then back in with the bacon that was there. That all comes together. Now I get to top it off. Some of the bacon we used. A little cheddar cheese. We're gonna get fancy on this one, folks. We hit a little sour cream. Chives over the top. I mean, it doesn't look like a baked potato in a bowl, but this is gonna be easy because it's already pureed together. You don't have to sit there and mix it inside the potato skin. Look at that. The sour cream right at the end, that cool, a little bit of that acid coming through. Excellent.